Do you get that now? So Peter Obi and his retail politics of meeting the people directly where, an ordinary politicians won't go to. He has perfected that so much that if they do mistakes, say, okay, did they count everybody one by one? It will trash all of these guys combined. Now, maybe rightly or wrongly, or for some of you who believes that he doesn't deserve it, to some of you who think he's not smart enough, well, rightly or wrongly, he has the strongest cult followership right now. And that wasn't something overnight. It's called retail politics. Here is what that looks like when he met with his students. He was talking to them directly. Yeah? Here. The first step part.
Today, we know that the number one measure of success of any nation is health. And you can't measure health without thinking of the human infrastructure that drives health. And if you talk about that human infrastructure, and the foundation is nothing. It's very important. The nurse is more important than the doctor. The nurse knows the patient. The nurse knows the patient. The nurse is everything. And it's not in 2030, the world will be shortage of nurses. So the leader of the other force shall thank you, Prophet, for what you're doing here. I thank the government of Bauchi because I know there's similar things. We need to help. We need to support what you're doing. What you're doing is for the society. And for those of us, it is not politics. I go to about 16, 17 nursing schools annually to support them. Because I know the critical role you play in the issue of health today. And it is important that we do the right thing. So we build a better country where people will be healthy, because health is wealth. So thank you. I will do one request because they are the ones. People get there, so I will take a picture with them. Pray
Bueno.
Neyo, I don't. It won't burn anything down, but come on. Don't pretend that you don't understand what I meant by the way what I described. I said those who are somehow obsessed with him, as you can very much see in Kolu and his camp, his appointees. Or maybe if you want to pretend that that's not a thing, that's fine. But the obsession they have for him, right, is pretty much like to do everything as much as possible, right? To keep underrating him, like say every other, as much as possible to try to erase all that happened in your 2023 charade. So when they started, right, there were some of you who confidently said it was just a noise. And I remember on Mayegun's Diary Political, some of you actually still testified to that. There was Mayegun that actually got you to start paying attention, that it was going to be a serious thing. But today, some of you have probably forgotten that you are back to your default mode. Is that just done said? Nothing go happen, just another. The only thing that didn't happen in 2023 was that they didn't know how to confront the rogues that cheated them. They didn't know. But guess what? Tifnumbu and his gang will be lucky again if they haven't learned any lesson as well. So don't ever say that nothing will happen. I kind of watched some of you say that, like nothing will happen. It's just noise. You underrated them so much that some people actually became irregular, what do they call it, regular guests on Nigerian TV, analyzing that all this social media. There's no polling unit on social media. There's nothing you didn't say. The Jordan you said, you know, it will respect Obi for forever, for the rest of his life, if Peter Obi can score up to 1 million votes. So why are you all pretending? Why are you all back to that default mode again like nothing? The only thing that didn't happen in 2023 was that they didn't go out there and be like the Boko Haram supporters. 4 people tweeting in a room ended up causing so much confusion that 260 billion naira budgeted for INEC, for your IREF, your this, your that. They automatically gone into madness, like they had to shut it down, disgrace themselves, and stood by that. Why are you pretending? Now everybody is back to their default mode again. This will be state. They can never be 7 months to your charade election, 7 months without giving any shishi to anybody. But today you are back. Tifnubu is a strategist. No. Tifnubu needed people to remain divided. It's an old politics, but what you guys are not paying attention to, and I'm calling your attention to it now, is to watch what this guy is doing, because that is what the supposed establishment, that is what they are watching. It's okay if you feel like nothing, of course, maybe nothing. But if they could shake the entire establishment and still shaking it till now, and what are they using? Their phones and their data. That's what they are using. So you don't sit down there and say, well, nothing. They are just making noise. Now you don't do that again, Baba. Don't be so dismissive like that. That is typical of the Ronukus. They don't think, they don't reason. They just, they're like one-way traffic. People just dismiss. Don't just dismiss. Don't be so pedestrian, like so final, because that's why they are doing everything right now. They're calling him a liar. They are calling him different names. You would think he's the oppressed idiot, the way they speak about him or talk about him every day. So why are you pretending about that? The reason why that is what it is because for the first time, he was the guy who demystified the old order. So Tifnubu and his gang, they know. Now, what this simply means is that in their all cooked, figure, whatever, the guy is scored he scored over 2 million votes in northern Nigeria. But they've made that look like it's nothing. At least it's not the president today. Tifnubu, of course, Tifnubu is. And I am not saying that his move is enough to probably make him president in a corrupt system. What I am saying is that if you are focusing on this coalition, that way is going to become this or that. The guy is moving in a way that if he stands alone, it will disrupt everything again. And this time around, they are saying that it's not going to be what you witnessed that time. So when they say it, just listen. You don't really even have to agree, but don't be dismissive like somebody who can't think. You should be able to think, reason, even if you have your biases, all right? Like reason. So that you won't turn around later and be like, how did that happen? Anyway, it is called retail politicking. He does it by himself. He's not paying people to help him do it. He's not trying to hire anybody to do anything for him. He's always going to, you don't understand what that means, right? He's living that, that physical encounter, that experience with ordinary people that you may not be able to convince all of them with money. Because how did he get the millions they allocated to him? Did he pay them money? He didn't pay them money. You know he didn't pay them money. In fact, they said he lost most of his supposed votes because they couldn't pay they couldn't hire enough polling unit agents. Anyway, don't shall forget. The reason why I will keep encouraging them is this. I want them to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then Tifnubu and his gang will do we will attempt what they normally do. Then I will now watch and say, you're going to let this one go again? And then we see how it will end. Maybe then you can then have context to you will not go burn anything down. Maybe then, if it now comes out again and say, hey, we are going to go to court. Say, this guy is a joker. Please don't underrate them. Don't. The establishment is not underrating them. And yourself, that invest so much of your time, on Mayegun's Diary Political. Don't underrate anybody. Come on. Anyway, here is the other part. I think this is where he now gave them is, he went to a place and guess something. Another thing about him, he's not giving people money as a gift. You see all this money that you are seeing him give all these places. He will go to their school. Meanwhile, prior to that, they've already told him about what they needed in their school. It's not an accident. It's not like impromptu. It's not like, oh, I'll give you 20 million. Oh, I'll give you 10 million. No. Most of the time, they've already told him. In fact, most of the time, the schools are those who are writing to him to come to their school. So when he gets to those schools, right, he will go to the project they are doing, and then he will say, okay, I'll give you 20 million. And according to him, his intention is to make sure that more people are encouraged to come and support that same people, that school, the same way he's been there. He said he's using his presence to probably attract other supposed rich Nigerians to go and invest in education, go to these places, support them. You will be surprised you'll be surprised with how much 10 million can do in those places. That's what he said. And I think that's what happened in that Islamic nursing school, rather. The other part.
Suleiman. Komandan.
Let's save our time. That's what that was all about. Presentation of checks and having a chat with some of those guys around him there. And all that. So Kwam1 has issued an apology, by the way. After all that happened, he has now admitted and he said he's taking responsibility for that disgraceful behavior of his. However, he rejects the allegation that he was carrying alcohol in his flask. He said it was just water and all that. And now going a viral video of his and his apology.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies of the press here present. My name is Olasukomi Inde Marshall, also known as K1 the Ultimate. I am here to make clarification of the incident that happened on the 5th of August 2025 at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport local wing while about to board aircraft from Abuja to Lagos. The incident is highly regrettable because I have contributed the better part of my life in the past 50 years to the growth and development of Nigeria, my country, art and culture, both in and out of the country. I've been a good ambassador of this great nation, in and out, in very many ways. Somebody like me should not be found in such incidents. I accept responsibility and appealing to Mr. President, the country, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, the FAAN, the NCAA, and my fans across the globe to please pardon my behavior. Number one, I passed through 2 checkposts and the content of my cup was screened. Need to say I have any content in the cup. Until I got to the lounge while awaiting the boarding of the aircraft, I pour water in it because of my health situation. I need to be sipping water because I'm dehydrated, as recommended by doctor to me. Like I said, I take full responsibility of all incidents. Once again, I seek forgiveness from Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is also my father and father of the nation, the Honorable Minister for Aviation, the pilot, the airline staff, passengers, and above all, my fans across the globe, my family, for the incident. My love for the country is unshakable. I am still the darling ambassador of our nation, and I'll continue to carry the banner of this great country everywhere all my life.